The Giyani water project remains unfinished despite Water and Sanitation Minister Senzo Mchunu's promises. In his one-year in office address, the minister said the project would be complete by November 2022. Bit more nuanced than that, but that was some of what was said. But November has come and gone with no water in sight. Communities in the arid parts of Limpopo are desperate. For more on this, I'm joined by ActionSA Limpopo chairperson Sello Lediga, who joins me now on the line to take that conversation forward. Sello, I say it's a bit nuanced than saying that he had said that it would be complete by November 2022. There were some aspects of the project where he said the work would resume in November 2022, whereas there are also other aspects where he gave a timeline that takes us all the way to 2023, February 2023, for example, being one of the several deadlines for it. But nevertheless, that nuance aside, are you seeing any work that signals that the words of the minister spoken firstly in August and then again reiterated in October around progress on the Giyani water project are backed up by actual delivery on the ground?
Thank you, Thulasizwe. I decided to go to Giyani with the technical team of ActionSA in order to see for ourselves the reality of the situation there. And I can tell you, Thulasizwe, the situation is still bad there. Actually, this is a modern-day tragedy that has happened to Giyani. More than 55 of those villages have been expecting water for years, you know. And as you have just alluded to, the minister promised, actually, that water will gush out of the taps, you know, in September. And we waited with anticipation to see that happen. It didn't happen. And then again, we're there on the last day of November. There's hardly anything that gives you an impression there's going to be any water coming out of that, you know. We've been to the warehouses of the Department of Water Affairs, you know, and the municipality. You just see lots of pipes there, idle people, an environment where that does not look really industrial and intended to produce anything. So we've decided that the people of Giyani will never get this water and that the minister is very economic with the truth. In fact, I'll tell you something. I went to one village. There is an Indian shopkeeper there. The entire village depends on this man who's giving the community water for free. Obviously, the advantage is that they buy from his store. So we are convinced that after our inspection, this promise of the minister is not going to materialize anytime soon.
Sure. So let's take the most advanced aspect, in my view, of this project, certainly not having been on the ground myself, but based on the reports that have been presented by the department and the minister from time to time. Let's take the Nandoni to Nsami bulk pipeline. The update in October, in fact in August, it was the pipeline was just left with some 4 kilometers to go. And the update in October said actually it's advanced now to 2 kilometers to go, plus about 700 meters to connect the dam to the river or something like that. Just on that aspect alone, did you observe anything that says pipeline, Nandoni to Nsami bulk water system has about 2 kilometers or less? It should be less by now. Did you see anything that talks to that short distance on this aspect alone?
Not at all, Thulasizwe. Not at all. I was personally there, you know, with our water experts, with the lawyers, and not at all. All that they are saying, you know, it's just to give people an impression that the project is close to completion. That thing is still kilometers away from what you are saying, you know. So we do not understand why they keep on giving out this kind of information when they know it is not necessarily true, you know. And what surprises me is that if you give this kind of impression, you create an expectation that in a week or in a month things will happen. And let me put it to you. Let's say by the time the schools reopen in January, whether that water will be there as promised by them. So I can assure you, they are very economic with the truth. That thing is a disaster, which I cannot explain.
When you say that pipeline is still some kilometers away, in your estimation, Are those kilometers more than 4 kilometers, 6 kilometers,
Absolutely.
10 kilometers, or closer
Absolutely.
to the 2 kilometers we were told in October?
No, further away, maybe 10 or more, if you understand what I mean, you know.
Okay, that's interesting.
So like I say, and remember, the people there are really desperate, I'm telling you. But
Yes.
maybe from the point of view of ActionSA, what we are going to do is really to hold them accountable now. Our lawyers tell us that obviously we don't expect anything to happen in December. But thereafter, we're actually preparing papers, you know, in order to make sure that we force them to deliver as promised. We can't allow the minister to go on national television, promise things, you know, and not deliver on them, and we keep on hoping and hoping. I think this matter must be high on the agenda, and as ActionSA, we will be pursuing it. In fact, in December, I'm bringing our president, Herman Mashaba, to come to Giyani, and we are prepared to make a lot of noise and give a proper report on site.
All right. Sello Lediga is ActionSA Limpopo chairperson, joining us there and weighing in on the Giyani water project. So in his account and assessment, the situation is nowhere near the updates that the Minister and the Department of Water and Sanitation have been giving us. Needless to say, we would need to hear then from that department and the Minister in the coming days. Why would they tell us that we've just got about 2 kilometers to go and some 700 meters in terms of the pipeline aspect? Because it is quite nuanced. There's bulk water systems, there's the pipelines, and then there's actual connectivity into the 55 villages. Different projects with different timelines given. But according to the ActionSA provincial chairperson there, no sign of progress in as far as those projects are concerned.